we can talk later also. Okay, so now you can see my course content screen, correct? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, Devasis.
Perfect. Okay. So see, in the SOAP API, what the things we are going to talk? We are going to talk about my different how I can write a web service in my Salesforce, which I want to expose to some other client who can consume my service. Okay. So the web service will write using SOAP. So I said two kind of API we are going to use. One is SOAP API and REST API. So in the SOAP API, we'll discuss about how I'm going to write the web service classes and what is the best practice to write. So whenever I'm going to design an integration, so what are the consideration we have to take, that we'll talk when we implement the SOAP part. Okay. So the architecture of the SOAP. Okay. So what are the different kind of WSDL file available, like my enterprise WSDL, partner WSDL, or we can talk about bulk APIs or like Apex and bulk API, all kind of thing. And whenever I'm going to send the data should be sent in a particular format, correct? So now let's consider I'm communicating between my Salesforce to some WordPress site, for example. Okay, so in Salesforce I have something like object. I store data in object, but in third-party website I'm not going to set data as object. It may be something else. Okay, now what is going to happen? So now what going to happen on this part, whenever I'm going to set my Salesforce to something else, so the communication of data should be in the same way. Okay, so how I'm going to share that part? So now the data, the exchange of data should be in a particular format. So what is that format? How I am going to exchange the data? Okay, so the data exchange may happen using my XML. Okay, when you are using the SOAP, so I'm going to transmit my data in the XML format. Okay, so when I'm saying I'm transmitting my data in the XML format, that means I should know how these XMLs are being built, okay, in my system, and what are the best way to construct that XML files. Okay, see, actually today I'm getting some technical issue in GoToMeeting, so it's on and off breaking my screen sharing. But don't worry, in the future it will not happen. That I can assure you. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, that's I'll take care. Okay. Okay. So now see, we understood. Okay, some kind of XML we'll see, and we'll see if I same way if I'm just connecting between two Salesforce system, and the SOAP API I'm getting or SOAP digital file I'm getting from another source, how I can consume it? What is the best way to consume a WSDL file? Okay, it may come from another Salesforce system, or it may come from another any non-Salesforce system. It may be .NET, PHP, or anything. That part also we'll see how we are going to connect it. Okay. Any question till now? So same way, what more thing we are going to do here, we will have, as we have SOAP API, we will talk about my REST API. In the SOAP API, we will talk about my XML parsing, okay, how this XML data are being parsed, okay. So it may be the request or response. So how we are going to build the XML request when exposing or consuming the WSDL files using my SOAP API, and same way when I'm consuming, how I am going to handle the request and response in XML file. And to make an integration using SOAP API, what are the prerequisites we have to take, like the remote site setting and any other things? What are the points you have to take? We'll discuss everything step by step. Same way, we have also REST API. I'll talk about what is SOAP API, what is REST API, what is the difference, okay, why I need to go for SOAP, why I need to go for REST. Okay, so in the REST API, we'll talk about again REST architecture. Okay, so REST authentication mechanism using OAuth, how you do. Okay, and we'll see like the HTTP protocols, how you use using Apex REST and resistance, maybe HTTP GET, POST, PUT, what are the things we have. Okay, and how we do call out and limitations. And for these examples, what we'll do, okay, we'll have two Salesforce system to make the integration. Okay, and also we'll make one non-Salesforce system which we develop using .NET. We'll expose some Salesforce as a service. We'll consummate using some .NET application, and also we'll see the examples where we'll take the some service from the Heroku app, okay, and we'll try to consummate in my Salesforce. And also we'll see if any third-party tools I need to use, okay, maybe for Jira integration, or maybe for for any kind of integration using my third-party tools, using Informatica Cloud or anything, what kind of setups we need to do, okay. And also we'll talk about little bit about if you want to do the SSO setup. SSO is nothing but it's a integration for my authentications, for my security layer integration, okay. So always remember, we will have three type of integrations all in the system. One is we call data integration, where we exchange the data between two systems, and we may have security integrations, okay, where I'm just passing the authentications only, okay. And also we may have the logical flow integrations, okay. All these three kind of integrations we will see with Apex, SOAP API, REST, how we are handling the request and response using XML and JSON, okay, in the both the classes. And we'll see the integration design pattern, how when I'm going to have integration design, what the best pattern we should use, and their consideration. And obviously we'll talk about the governor limit and all other things, and we'll do the live integration between Salesforce and .NET. So this is completely my course content, which I have shared already with you, and we are going to talk about that only, okay. So, and also if you suggest something to add on this course, you can feel free to tell me, okay.
So there was
Is
this,
there anything else? Mm-hmm.
yeah, do you talk about also how generate the refresh token and how to get the calls through
Yes,
REST API
yes, yes,
through
that
coding?
all part will go in the OAuth part. Through coding will show, everything will go in the OAuth part. That refresh token and how generate token, everything will come in that part. We'll see that part also. It's
Okay.
part of the training. Okay, perfect. So this is my
So,
course content. So, mhm.
in how many days it will complete? So,
Okay, so this training will have maximum of 15 hour of training. Okay,
mhm.
so and also in this part you will see for the mock responses how you create for the test classes. That also I'll show you on the live. Okay, this will be maximum of 15 hours of training. Okay, so each classes will have around 1 hour of session, and weekly we'll have maximum 4 to 5 hour of session. So we'll take a max of 3 hour 3 weeks to complete this training.
Okay. Okay. So, so every day, like every day is the class or a day, alternate days?
We'll plan according to your comfortable. If you want every day continuously, we'll make 5 classes we can make, or if you want to alternate day, that's also I'm okay. So it's as per your comfortability, we'll plan it. Okay, so if you make each alternate day, then it's good for you, because of if you one day will read something, then next day you can practice, and you can practice by yourself something, so that you will be in touch. Okay, as you like. If you want, okay, continuously start and complete, that's also I'm absolutely fine. Both the ways
Yeah,
it
I'm
works for me.
also with anything. That's
So if which means that once this class gets over, we will get the recorded session so that we can go through the sessions and practice on our own.
Yes, yes, that you can get. But what I'll do, I will give session from my Udemy video. These classes I'll upload in Udemy, and you will get that.
Okay, means
Okay,
this is the today recorded sessions you will upload in Udemy, or it's already recorded
yeah.
one.
No, no, no. Today's upload for you. I'll upload today's session. I'll upload in Udemy.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, it's that way. Okay.
So,
So
Dave, I
this.
have a question.
Yes, tell me.
So, I mean, we are using a REST API or the SOAP, and we are using any ESBs or something, or it is direct integration between the, and we send a request and response through APIs, and that will be directly going to Salesforce.
Yes, so what we are doing here, we are going to do a direct integration to systems. If you have any specific third party to use, that also we can discuss. Okay, specific third party. So I can show you Informatica Cloud, okay, how I use and what kind of thing we did. See, third-party tool integration, when you see, there is nothing more to do. So all the APIs and handlers are available on that third-party tools to use it. Okay, so it's just a setup we have to do between the two systems. Okay, if you use in third party, but between two systems when you integrate, always it will be the direct call. Okay,
Okay, and if there is any transformation logics and all, how are we handling here?
that see it again depends the transfer logic we are writing in which part, in the source or destination. Okay, in the client or server. So if you want to handle in the client side, okay, you transmit data and send to a server, that you can do like normal integration. How it happens now, if you have a huge node data, let's see, if you see between two systems, I'm doing million of transactions to sync in between the two systems. So that time we are using some third-party tools, middleware tools. Okay, so we write the translation logic complete in the middleware tool. Okay, and also the same logic we can incorporate in our client side or in your server side, depending on which one you are handling.
Okay, one last question. Since I do not have much the idea on the Salesforce, like what do you recommend for the as a prerequisite to go for the integration? Because my integration experience into IBM Tririga, it's another tool where we are using the REST calls, I mean REST APIs. So I mean, is there any prerequisites required?
Yes, it's required. See, I will suggest you should know the Apex programming. Okay. See, Apex programming, when you say it's like a Java programming, so you should know the Apex programming if you want to do integration. So if you don't know Apex programming, so see, if you are just consuming these Apex classes, a different story. But to write the web services, you have to write the Apex classes. Some like Java OOPS oriented classes you have to write. Okay, if you are comfortable with that, then no worries. That much will be sufficient for us. Okay, so you should have the knowledge of how to write a class. That much thing first of all, and it's
Oh,
good to know if you are about the XML structure, JSON structure. That's the good to go. Okay, but minimum
oh,
thing you should know how to write class.
okay, yeah, got it. Thank you.
So
Okay.
WSS in that case, so how about if I say that I'm not that so good at Apex programming, though I
No,
know the
see,
basics of what is what?
correct. There is two things. So we are not going to write the complex Apex programming here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to tell here. So you know how to write Apex. What is Apex, correct? So you can
Yes.
write a class, that thing. So you need to work on the logic, how to build the logic, and that logic part we're going to discuss here for the integration. What kind of logic we need to write? Okay, but you know how to write a class, to write a method. That part you already know. As I have seen you, you know that part. But you have issue with the writing the logics. Okay, so how syntactically we are going to write here, how we will discuss a logic and how we'll convert that requirement to a logic part, logical programming here, that I will teach you here. For you, don't worry. Okay,
Okay.
it's yeah. Okay. Any more question for me? So see, I'm not going to start exactly what is integration, the architecture of it. That I will start from the next session completely. So today I just gave you the overview what we are going to do it, and what is the plan for how many days you have to be in line with me. Okay, so that we can complete this course completely. Okay, so that's my plan. Okay, so and my timing is going to be the same time. So is that, I hope, comfortable with the all of you? So is there any time issues you have?
For me, no.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so that sounds good. So we'll connect again tomorrow in the same time. We'll start with exact training, formal training. What is integration and what are the things we can do it. That sounds good.
Yeah. Yes, Devasis.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
So WSS, before the close, I have one question. You are saying about three types of integration, right? Like data integration, security, and logical flow. So when I
Yes.
say that I'm going to connect two different systems, say for instance, if two Salesforce systems, right? So in that
Okay.
case,
Now, what- let me tell you a point. So if you want to connect to two different systems, what do you want to do? Do you want to send some data from system A to system B? If you
yes,
want to send data, then it's a data integration. Okay, now let's consider you want to connect to some other system. Let's see, you have one application you are using for online appointment. Okay, but online appointment when you use, so now for online appointment also you need to authenticate yourself. For authentication, what you do, you are not going to use any kind of username password there. There you can invoke the service, some kind of service from your Salesforce system or some other system, where they will pass the security layer to you, where they will pass your authentication or session to that application to use. Nothing but your identity they are passing. So when that kind of requirement will come, you are not going to send the data, but you are just making yourself identification by some other system. So that is nothing but my security layer of integration. Okay.
Okay.
Now same way logical flow. Let's see, you are just okay, that we'll talk about in the Salesforce flow part. Okay, so you are just creating one record or something. Okay, and that flow you are starting from some other applications. Okay, the user flow. So I'm in the Salesforce, but inside the Salesforce, instead of opening our Salesforce pages, we can open up some other user interface pages and work on that.
Okay.
Okay, so logical flow, how we are defining in that. All three
Okay.
different types of integrations we have. But if you see, normally maximum we use the data integrations. If you see, always transmit data from one system to another system. That's
Okay.
the 95% uses in the real world.
Okay. So just in case if I'm connecting another user, another system, and I don't want to give my username and password all the time, instead, if I just click a button,
Yes,
it should open automatically, right? Like a single sign-on I need to
correct.
work on.
Same
So
kind of
even,
single sign-on is a security layer of integrations. So
okay,
that's
even that will
the
be covered here, the business?
yes. I'll cover that SSO setup. That part I'll
Okay.
cover. So
Okay.
between two system, I'll cover the SSO setup.
Okay.
And I can show it between two Salesforce system, not in any other system, because I don't have any other system to open it up. Okay, so I'll display it. I'll just give the example and set up mechanism between two Salesforce, how I'm going to connect from one to another one. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
that I'll show you only in the security layer. Perfect. Any more question?
No, Devasis.
Okay,
From my end.
perfect. Perfect, sounds good. Okay, then we'll meet tomorrow same time. We'll start our integration training. Okay.
Yeah.
And this discussion what we did, it's really not need to be in the Udemy, but from next session I'll keep that video and I'll give you the link. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you everybody, and I hope you are joining tomorrow. Okay, we may have some more guys also joining tomorrow in this session. Okay, so we all will start in a batch and we'll cover this as soon as possible. Okay, and if you have any question at any time after the training complete also, you can reach out to me. Okay, and as I know all of you like Jagdish and Rajesh, I know you already, and Pradeep Sachideva, you have the same link. You can connect to me, and also if possible, just can you put a message to me? You know, in my email I have my mobile number. You can just put a WhatsApp message to me so that I can add you in the group. Okay.
Okay, Devasis.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. We'll meet tomorrow same time.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Thank you. Bye bye. Yep.